I really love drinking tea. As a result of that, when you use a tea ball like this, or when you use a coffee mug, you usually get a lot of staining. So I cleaned this side over here. You can see it looks much better than it does on this side. And I want to show you how I did it. So this side has been cleaned. This side hasn't been cleaned. Now, for a lot of people, I've seen that they just toss this stuff when it looks like this because they think, oh, it's rusty. Oh, it's dirty. Yeah, let me buy a new one. I find that this is, erroneous because the reason why it looks like this is because of the tannins inside of the tea. So when you look at a tea, right, you know how it has like the brown stuff in here, tea leaves. I think it's called tannins. It causes not only your teeth to get darker, your mug to get darker, it also makes the tea ball stained as well. So don't throw this away thinking, oh, this is all rusty, this is unsafe to use, because it's really not. If you guys have tea mugs, coffee stains, tea stains, you guys know there's nothing wrong with it, it's just stained, right? So what I do is I use baking soda over here. And you can also do this for any coffee mug that you have. Now, what you do is you get a little bit of baking soda. I always keep a spoon inside of my baking soda bag because it's just, I always use it. And I don't want to be running around the house thinking, oh, I need to get a spoon to take out my baking soda. So I just always keep the big spoon inside of there. And then the other thing that you do is you get some water. So, get a little bit of water here. And finally, you get an old toothbrush. Now, I would recommend make sure you wash this after you use it because this is an old toothbrush, okay? All you do is you make a paste over here. And then it's easier if you do this in the sink. That way you don't have to clean up this plate like I do. And then you just scrub it. See this? And the more paste you have over here, the more how would I say, not watered down it is. See that? It's already cleaning up. Now this tip works really, really well also for coffee mugs or glass mugs that you have as well. You know, glass cups if you drink coffee, if you drink tea. There are so many mugs that I used a little too much water here, but there are so many mugs that I have lying around the house that I looked at it and I was like, oh, I gotta buy a new mug. It's all stained, it's all gross looking. And all I did is I just got this baking soda mixture, just water and baking soda, that's it. And then I just cleaned it up. So you can see I added a little too much water. Let's add more. Over there. And it's really easy to clean this thing up. See? Now if you clean this, make sure you don't just clean this side, make sure you clean the inside as well. See? Like on this inside as well. Because when you have the tea staining, right? The tea goes inside of here. So also clean this part as well. Now this part over here, I'm gonna be honest, it's hard for me to clean up over here because it's just like so precise. So you might not get it 100% perfect on this part, okay? But all you have to do is just scrub it with baking soda. If you have like a, let's say a more coarser brush, or if you get a sponge, like, you know, the scrubby ones, you know, the green ones, that might make a big difference as well. So see over here. But my little soft bristle can only get to so many different areas. And I just wanted to show you guys this really quick. Remember, do this in the sink. That way you don't have to clean up this plate. And then you rinse it out. And you can see this looks so much better than it did before. The only problematic area is this part over here. See that? So I'm gonna have to scrub this later on with my baking soda mixture, and then, you know, hopefully I get through everything. Now if this is not perfect, don't fret about it, because you shouldn't focus on this little one dot over here when you have like everything else just so sparkly clean. I hope this tip saves you guys money. I have one more tip for you guys as well, but I hope this tip saves you money, because I know sometimes people have to, you know, people don't want to keep buying a new tea ball. I went through about 3 of these things over the years because I thought, oh, it's so gross looking. Let me just throw it away. Let me buy another one. And then sometimes if it's too tea stained, you don't want to use it because you think, oh, it looks so ugly. How come my tea ball doesn't look perfect like some of the YouTubers or, the people who are on social media? They might be buying a new one or they could be cleaning it with baking soda. Whatever the case is, I hope that you guys maintain your little tea balls. Now, another tip that I would suggest to you guys is, let's say you don't have a tea ball. Let's say you don't want to be bothered by doing that. However, you do make coffee every day. Now, I was looking at this, and this is 700 basket style coffee filters for 8 to 12 cup coffee. It's like the standard size. You get 700 for about $3. I think it's Sam's Club or Costco. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys, for some people, let's say you want to make tea and then you say, oh, I don't want to buy tea bags, or I don't want to buy loose leaf because I don't have the tea bags for it. Now, if you do have the coffee filters, right? The coffee filters can serve as a tea bag. So I like buying loose leaf tea. This is jasmine. I repotted it in here. So when Teavana was still around, I bought these things on sale for 75% off. You can obviously reuse this, right? So if I don't want to, if I run out of jasmine, I can just put something else in here. I like putting a piece of masking tape on top of here, and that way I can easily see what's inside. I would also recommend saving these containers. So this is a Teavana container here. I got this as a gift. See that? So you got one over here, 2 over here. This is a mango black. Pretty cool, yeah. And then you got a third one over here. So if I come across like a small amount of loose leaf tea, I can always just, if it comes in a pouch, I can always just repot it in here. I have had this for quite some time. Let's see. This is 2015, so I've had this tea for about 6 years. Guess what? It's totally fine. It might have a little loss of flavor, but I don't really notice. And if I do notice, well, I haven't, tea is dried tea leaves. It doesn't really expire. Okay, so let's talk about it. So if you have these kind of coffee filters, you can use this to brew your tea. And you might be wondering, like, okay, how do you do this, Erica? So what you do is you get a coffee filter here. And I've already done this. Oh, I got a piece of water on here. Oh, well, no biggie. Okay, and then you get a spoon, and then you put your tea leaves over here. And then what I would recommend is you get your, you kind of like make sure you get a binder clip. I think a lot of people have binder clips, or you get a clothespin, that kind of stuff. And then you just kind of like tie it up here. So I like folding it over here. And you guys see, like, I do have a tea bag, but I'm just sharing this with you guys because I know some people, they don't have tea balls, or some people, they're maybe lazy and they're like, I don't want to clean, I don't want to scrub that tea ball, right? All you do is you just go like this. Make sure you put as much as you can over here. See that? I wouldn't recommend putting too much tea because it will expand. Then you get a chopstick. And then you put it through here. And that's it. So then you put your tea over here. Just make sure it doesn't go up too high. So what I would recommend is, if you do want to have more tea, get a taller mug. And then that way, after you're done brewing the tea, you just lift it up. If it's in the sink, throw it in the sink, and then, that kind of stuff. So it makes it really simple. And I know most people will not have to do this, but let's say you're a college kid, or let's say you make coffee and you don't want to spend the 25 cents on a tea bag. This is just a solution that you guys could do. And I hope this thing helps you out. You can also buy the tea pouches as well. I was looking at this, for instance. This is a coffee filter thing. This is already done. So this is the one that, instead of like the loose leaf one, it's these. So these are the number 2 filters. These come at a price premium compared to these. I think this was like $3 or $4 for 100 of them versus 700 of these for $3. So let's just say this was $4 for 100. This is $4 for 700, right? You will get more value out of this one versus this one. In fact, I remember when I got it, I got chastised for it because I was like, Erica, why are you paying $3 to $4 for this stuff? This is so pricey. And I was like, oh, well, I just thought it would be convenient for you. And they're like, no, just buy this one, Erica. Okay. So I have a bunch of these coffee filters. You could do the same thing as I recommended if you guys have this lying around. Let's say you don't have a coffee machine anymore. Just put your tea in here, fold the top, use the binder clip thing, And then that way your tea can kind of sit over here, right? I would recommend like don't have the metal hitting the top. So for instance, right, like you just kind of fold it over and then you see this part, and then you put your chopstick through it. See? And that way you don't have to clean a tea bag at all. You just put your chopstick away, you put your binder clip away, and this can go right into the trash. This is, in my opinion, a good way to get around those expensive tea bags. And I hope that this kind of stuff is useful to you guys, because I know times are getting tough in terms of money. And you can see my little pouch. This is actually, what is this? A toilet paper bag. I was like, it's a plastic bag. I don't care. But all this kind of stuff, you know, it's like all these little things. You're not going to get rich off of this, but it will save you out on money. You can also see that if you go to a department store, or if you go to like Walmart or Target, you know how they have the clothes hangers. I get these little, I took several of them because they're just going to toss it away. They're going to recycle it anyway, right? And then you get these like wire clippers, and then you cut them, and then you can use this as a chip clip bag. Keep in mind, these things do break after about 5 years. But as you guys know, if you've ever been to Walmart or Target, they have so many of these things. I'd rather give them another use in life than having it go straight off into the landfill. I don't think plastic recycling in that regard is very efficient. It's better for people to just, you know, repurpose this and use this as a chip clip. So you guys can see I do try to repurpose things. I do try to upcycle things. And as a result of that, when you see me, I don't really, you know, buy Ziplocs. I don't really have to think about like having different containers. And yeah, so all these kind of tips. And this is tea that I brewed earlier. See this? Oh crap, I shouldn't show it to you. Yeah, it still has a lot of tea liquid in there. So this is tea that I brewed. Of course, brewing tea is not rocket science, but I hope that these tips help you guys save money. I hope that it is useful to you guys. And don't rush out and buy the freaking tea bags, okay? You guys can save money, buy loose leaf. If you guys don't have a container like this, if you can't afford it, then you can always just put it inside of, you know, those cookie tins that you get sometimes, or like cookie tins, like the Danish tins. You could put your tea in that. I like these because they're kind of narrow and they're kind of upright. I forgot how much I paid for them. I think they were like $6 each, but it was on sale. Unfortunately, Teavana's not around anymore, but I stocked up on so much Teavana when they were around. Sometimes they had like a 75% sale, and yeah, so that's why you see me with like Teavana tea. Again, this isn't Teavana jasmine, but I stock up on it, and I'm like, oh, this is like a little taste of like bougie luxury. That's just me, though. That's just me. And yeah, I can't get any more of these things. They closed down the stores. So I will talk to you guys later, and I'm going to get going on with my day, and I hope that my little tips served you well. I see that sometimes in the comment section, some people say that they have tried my tips and it does help them. Just like Steve just said right now. And I'm really glad, because I feel like sometimes when you go on YouTube, you look at videos, and then sometimes you say like, oh man, I wonder how I could do this, or I could wonder how I could do that. And if you can't find a video, right, it's just like, oh my goodness. So for example, and I'm gonna keep it really quick over here, but I have a neighbor, and she said she wanted to figure out how to reuse a pepper grinder, a plastic pepper grinder. And she typed it out on YouTube, and she found my video, you know, my Chestnut Hill pepper grinder video. And it made me so surprised, but it also made me happy because she said it worked. And this is my next door neighbor here. So I thought to myself, you know what, if I find these little hacks, or if I find these little things, even if some people might think it's silly, as long as it helps one person, it makes me very happy, because I don't want you guys spending unnecessary money or having unnecessary stuff when you can have like coffee filters, and then you can use it for your tea and both your coffee as well. And yeah, so you guys take care. I shall see you later. See ya.